Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dela Criss, and this is my husband Meyer Criss. And so we are a family of 5. We live in an RV, and it's a little under 200 square feet, and that's why we shoot a lot of our videos in the car, because there's no putting the kids to bed and then shooting these videos.
It's about the same size.
Yeah, it is about the same size. And so we're just sharing our journey with you guys. We're on a journey to pay off our debt, and then we're gonna build our house with our own 2 hands. The lighting is weird, y'all. I'm sorry, the sun is doing something weird. But so today we wanted to tackle a question that we get all the time. Well, not really a question that we get, a comment that we get. Our sweet subscribers, y'all be like, oh, it's so nice seeing a black couple like embracing this lifestyle, doing the thing, and that's just so sweet. And so today we wanted to answer the question, what it's like living in an RV, living tiny, being on this debt-free journey, and being black. And if you're here and you're not black, and because we have a lot of diverse subscribers, that's great, and you're wondering why this is even a thing, like why are you even answering this question, I wanted to, first of all, you know, you gotta do all the like disclaimers and stuff, but I wanted to share the fact that like when you're black in America, I'm just gonna put it out there, your experience is different. Right? Being a black American, your experience is just different, and it's not wrong, right, or indifferent. And a lot of times, like, especially being in situations where we're in, where we're like, we bought land and we're living in an RV, like, I don't know how to say this, I don't mean this in a mean way, but like a lot of things aren't given to us. There isn't an inheritance, or not saying that's how other people get their stuff, but like it just looks different for us. There are barriers to entry. That's just the reality of being black or a minority in America. And a lot of times I feel like we as black people think that these opportunities aren't available to us, how we feel like we're always going to have to work the 9 to 5, or, you know, just alternative lifestyles. We feel like they're not available to us. Partially because we feel like we have to go out there and get it. And I agree, like we do have to go out there and get it, and it does look different. But so this is not meant to be controversial. I just had to go out of my way and make sure I put my disclaimers out there. We have such a heart for diversity. It's one of our core values, but we also think it's our duty or our job to share our unique experience. So hopefully you guys will hang out and kind of listen to what we have to say. Okay. So when I ask you the question, what it's like being black, tiny living, being on the debt-free journey, all the things, like right off the bat, what comes to mind? Like what word comes to mind?
It's rare.
Okay.
Reason being because not many people doing it. First of all, second of all, it's no black people doing that I know of. And I think
definitely that we know, like in
that
the
we
flesh.
know of.
Yeah, like there's some people on YouTube, but like if we don't have like, oh, neighbors, it's like, oh, y'all are black doing this too. Okay, cool. Like no, that doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I think mostly the main reason because in general, I feel like as a culture we want things to be comfortable. So as soon as we make good money, we're taught to, hey, take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Buy a new house.
And this is not a generalization. Like this is just what we've seen and like what we felt. No, I think that's a good point. Yeah. So buy new things. Treat yourself well. Treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself well. So, yeah.
It's like the whole I've arrived concept.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, like we done made it through the struggle, so we don't need to go back to the struggle. So, you know, when I made it, like whatever income that is, like we have this threshold, we made it, we're gonna go buy, like you said, the house, we're gonna buy the 2 cars, we're gonna do all the things so that we look wealthy. And that is what we feel like. We battle that resistance constantly. And like you gave the example, like the 200,000, what do you say, like
so if you make as a household $200,000 a year, but your expenses add up to $175 a year, all right, versus another household that the income is $100,000 a year, but your expenses are $50,000, who's more wealthy? The person that makes $200 or the person that makes $100,000 a year? No, the person that makes $100,000 a year is more wealthy because they have $50,000 left over versus
and more margin.
And more margin.
And that, or even just looking at what you can like that's another thing is like what we consider as wealth. Like we consider time with our family as wealth. We consider things that we can hand down to our children as wealth. And I know like that conversation isn't had a lot of times in the Black community. I know when I was in college and we were having these conversations, that wasn't considered, or health. Like health is wealth for us. And so I mean, a lot of people don't talk about like if you're doing the jobs making, and there's nothing wrong with doing the jobs making big income or good income. We've both been there, and we're blessed to have, you know, those that now, but it's just like the idea of like that is when you arrive, and not the conversations of health and all those things. When I think of it, another word that comes to mind is like we were saying, like just like it's lonely out here, like the loneliness of just not having people to share these experiences. Like since we've been putting ourselves on YouTube, we've been able to meet a lot of y'all who are doing the same thing, but just in the flesh, it's just lonely. And then just like going back to the idea of like being uncomfortable, as Americans, we're conditioned to, and I'm not even just talking about Black Americans, as Americans, we're conditioned to be as comfortable as possible. And I think that's a huge thing. Just even like I was telling you, I was listening to the Craig Kushel, like his leadership podcast. It was so good. His most recent one. The guy on there that he was interviewing, I don't even know his name, but he was talking about how we think everything is supposed to be a pillow fight. Like everything is supposed to be soft and sweet. And it's just like, and what, give the example too, babe, of like when you're talking about one of your students, him doing the squat thing. I think that was a really good example.
Yeah. So it was okay. So one day we was doing max on squats. All right. So how much weight you can do? So we was increasing the weight, and I looked up. This kid was trying to squat it, but homie was going like 2 inches down, right? But they weren't good enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work with you. So the next week, me and him start working deep squats. But as soon as the weight got a little uncomfortable, not like I went up 50 pounds, I went up 20 pounds. As soon as it got a little uncomfortable, he went back to those old habits. So I kept on pushing him. He ended up doing like 3 times the amount of reps because he wouldn't go deep enough. But then when he finally got it, he felt accomplished. But
That's the
he
same.
was frustrated. He was frustrated during it. He was frustrated.
Yeah,
But
I thought that was such a good just demonstration. Like the moment we try something, like especially like, and I get it, like we get it. We're not talking judging our people. We're saying like we've experienced this. Like the moment we put ourselves out there. So for example, when we decided that has nothing to do with this, but when we decided that I was gonna come home with our kids, it was hard as heck the first time, financially and all the things. So then I remember I started to believe the limiting belief that like, okay, this is hard, so this is just for white people. You remember like just going through that. But, and then anyways, went back to work, came back, and it was like, no, I'm going to find a way to do this. I'm going to find a way to make income. I'm going to find a way to raise my kids. And just that mindset shift is what made it work for us, I think, again. Yeah, mindset. We talk about this all the time. Mindset is everything. And just being it. And I think that like leads us to our next point, though, is like having the mindset is everything. But also like it's hard for us to get that mindset because when you're looking up people on YouTube and like, oh, tiny living, RV living, it's who do we find?
It's white wealthy people, white people that got money. You know what I'm saying?
And and guys, we're not prejudiced at all.
Not at all, bro.
Trust us, like, but you just can't relate. It's like, we're RV living. We sold our $500,000 house, and now we're gonna travel the world. First of all, we ain't traveling the world. We did not sell a $500,000 house. And it's just hard because you cannot relate. It's like, okay, I'm trying to look up tips for how to make my RV like more comfortable, but then I'm looking up people who have unlimited budgets for their tiny home, or these tiny homes out here costing $100,000.
Nah, bro, we trying to save money. We ain't trying to spend money.
Our tiny house costs $5,000, not $100,000. So like, it's just hard being Black and just really not being rich doing this because you just cannot relate. And there's no shame. Like, if you're out there and you're tiny living and you got $100,000 budget, like that's really cool for you. Like, we're happy for you, and you're traveling the world. Like, we want to be there, but our tiny living journey, it's about us saving money and paying off debt. And so it can feel lonely out here. Like, it really can. But also with that, like, I think one thing of, like, what it feels like being black and kind of going on this journey is, like, it's inspiring. Like, oh my gosh, we've been able to talk to people who are kind of like, especially in the comments or even in real life, who are like, you know what, like, we're there. Like, we're tired of working jobs that we hate. We're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe we lost a job, or maybe where we work is toxic, right? We've had these conversations with people, and it's opened up doors to have the conversation about, hey, guys, like, us as black people, like, we can do this too. Like, we can get our finances in order, right? We can do the thing. We can do unconventional things. You could drive a hoopty just like we drive hoopties, right? Like, you've had those conversations, and you've been able to, it's just opened up so many doors for us to have very transparent conversations, and for us to, like, cheer our people on. Because, I mean, this is really sad to say, but if you're watching this, you probably already know, just like the kind of the crab mentality that we can have, like, as people, like, we kind of struggle to encourage each other or cheer each other on, and it has opened so many doors for me to be like, for y'all to be in the comments being like, it's so cool seeing a black couple do this, and for me to be able to, when I tell y'all, like, you can do this in the comments, I'm not just saying that to push, publish, and, like, we literally believe other people can do this. Is it hard? Yes. Do we think y'all can do it? Yes. Right? I mean, you're gonna have to pull your sleeves up. It's not easy. Like, our daily life is a grind. But not only can you do it, like, our prayer is that more of us will do it. Because so many chains can fall, bondage can break. Like, we can, as people, live in financial freedom. We can purchase and own land. Like, we think of legacy. Like, we think of our babies living there and then going to purchase their own properties and becoming more self-sustainable. All the things. Like, so I think that's, to me, the most special part is that since there isn't a lot of people out there, like, we get to kind of stand in the gap and be encouragement for not just black people, hopefully all people, especially, like, you feel like you don't, like, this lifestyle isn't just for people that are rich or people that land is given to them, you know what I mean? Which, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. We want to give land to our kids. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers y'all's question. Like, y'all are so encouraging to us to be in the comments being like, it's so cool to see, like, a black couple. And I just wanted to address that, just for my other followers who don't even know why y'all keep saying that. I wanted to address that. Like, we feel the love, we feel the encouragement. Like, on days where we're like, oh, let's burn this camper down and walk out of here, like, y'all's comments keep us going, and they keep us, like, lifted up. And so we wanted to just share the love and encourage y'all. If you're new here, please join our family, hit the subscribe button, and introduce yourself in the comments. We would love to get to know you. Love y'all. Bye.